Bedley Brothers here, Maker Faire 2013.
Got lots of reason to go outside. Hanging with my friends makes me feel alive. Time is ticking, I've got to go. It's my cool girls, my size, my new kids. It's my cool girls.
Hey, we're here with Eric Stackpole. Eric, would you tell us about what you're doing here and just give us a little background on this open source underwater robotics?
Sure. So what I've got here is called Open ROV. ROV stands for Remotely Operated Vehicle, and that could be any kind of vehicle that you drive from a different place, but usually it means submarines, and that's what we've got. It's an open source, do-it-yourself robot that you can drive underwater. It has a camera on board, and you can see what that camera sees at the surface live. It's like playing a video game, but in real life. And that's what we're trying to do, is make it so anyone can be an explorer. You can look at this mysterious underwater world and learn about it on your own.
Amazing. Now, we're also asking the creative genius that's here at Maker Faire, what was your experience growing up in school like?
So, I have never been an excellent student.
Wait. You created all this and you weren't an excellent student?
No. My GPA was somewhere between E and pi. I never did very well in classes, and a lot of times it's just because I was kind of impatient, and I didn't really get things where you have to like look through a book and understand these things in order, and this is how you do it. I love tinkering. Always I love tinkering. Legos, for instance, when I think of Legos, I don't think of school at all. That's what I do for fun. But it turns out that tinkering, what started out playing with Legos and later turned into asking questions about how I can put other things together, that's kind of what morphed into Open ROV. It wasn't the academic part, it was the tinkering part. Just kind of doing what I was interested in. When I reached a roadblock, figuring out how to get past that roadblock. So yeah, that's kind of the route that got me to building underwater robots.
So for you, a classroom that was all about exploration and creativity and making and taking apart and reconstructing would be awesome, right?
That would be really awesome. I'll tell you, most of what I've learned that's really been useful, even stuff that I guess other people would generally learn academically, to me has come from almost kind of an apprenticeship type learning, where there's something I want to do because I'm interested in it, and I find someone who knows about it, and I start asking questions. It's kind of just-in-time learning, as my co-founder David Lang often talks about. This idea of when you're curious about something, you try doing it, and every roadblock you get to, that's an opportunity to learn. It shouldn't be, this is what you're going to need for the future. It's, this is what you need now, and we're going to teach you how to use it, and in the future that'll be useful too.
Eric, that is so well said. Thank you. I mean, unbelievable. Thank you so much, and we look forward to seeing you spread this, and we'll spread it as much as we can out there. So thanks.
Thank you very much.
Hey, I'm here with Shane with the first program. You guys build robots, huh?
Yeah, so every year we get a different competition that we have to play in. So the first program announces a different game that we have to build a robot that can play. So this year we built a robot that can play Frisbee. So we have 6 weeks to build a robot that can play Frisbee. And we're all different teams.
Now wait, do they have to catch the Frisbee too?
They can, if you can make it. So the majority of the robots can either pick the Frisbees off the floor and put them into their robot and then shoot them, or they can go up to feeder stations, which is just basically a wall with like a mail slot, and they can drop the Frisbees down into that mail slot and into their robot, and then shoot them into those goals. So
that's what your robots can do from the high school that you're...
Yes, so all of these robots out here on this field are from different high schools all over the country and all over the state. So there's about 4,000 teams all throughout the country, and we all have to build the same robot.
Wow. Okay, and so one of these robots here is yours?
Yes, so this robot here, I'm part of Team 253 in Millbrae, California, and our robot, we're a pretty new team, so our robot for us is a great accomplishment. We didn't do too well in the competitions, but we did fantastic.
But you learned something, I'm sure.
Exactly. We learned so much doing this project, and we got a lot of hands-on experience, and I think that's a major problem with kids nowadays. They want to do stuff, and they want to learn, but they don't know how how, and they don't have the resources to. So I was really lucky. In my high school, we have this team where we can really get some hands-on experience.
Awesome. Are you gonna what year are you in school?
I'm a junior.
Junior. Are you gonna do this again next year then?
Definitely. I wouldn't choose anything else.
And does everybody have the opportunity to do this, or do you have to try out for the team, or how does that work?
Anyone can join. Anyone can do it. It really just is. If you want to be part of it, then you will be part of it.
And what about schools? Do you have any idea how schools get involved in something like this?
We're not really involved with our school. They tell us, okay, you can meet on our properties, but they don't want much part of it. They kind of want us to really take control.
So you're independent on this, and you just signed up independently as a team of students to compete in the contest, and you just happen to use your school as a place to do it? Is that correct?
Basically, yes.
Okay, and when do you actually work on all this stuff? Is it after school hours, or do they give you a class for it, or what?
So unfortunately, we're a really underprivileged team. We work out of a physics classroom. So the past couple years, we haven't done very well. We've had a robot that goes out onto the field and it doesn't move at all. So this is the first year that we've had a robot that can work, and it really just goes down to like parents donating their time and money. So a lot of this robot was built in my garage.
Wow, that's amazing.
During after school hours. So we'll meet from 3 until 9 o'clock at night sometimes. And then on the
When do you get your homework done?
that's a big part of it during those 6 weeks.
I mean, do your teachers work with you at all on this? I mean, do they tell you, it's okay, you can count that as your homework or anything for science, or is it pretty much?
Pretty much it's just we have to fit it in.
Yeah.
It's a lot of time management skills.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, Shane, that is amazing. Great job, buddy.
Thank you.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
Hey, we're here with Dave Bazuki of Roblox. Would you tell us a little bit about Roblox?
Hey, glad to be here. We're at Maker Faire. So Roblox is an online community where people build 3D stuff and then they play in what they built. So we've got hundreds and hundreds of Roblox gamers, builders, and developers coming by today. They build over 6 million different virtual places every year, and then they play in them to the tune of 45 million hours per month. So we're really a celebration of virtual building, and that's why we come to the Maker Faire. One of our users built a kind of a dinosaur simulator game in Roblox for a project, so they got an A in it. We have people building Mayan ruins, building the Taj Mahal, kind of using a virtual building environment, kind of as a side-by-side maybe with something they'd build out of foam core or something like that. One of my most memorable classes was a shop class where we had a contest to build the strongest bridge out of balsa wood. We're trying to replicate those kind of experiences, creative building inside Roblox.
And then Roblox is going to do that for the 21st century learner, right?
I think our idea is when our players and builders go online, we would love to have them be building stuff rather than just consuming stuff. So if we can replicate kind of the creative tools you see around Maker Faire in an online experience, that's a really fun, healthy online experience.
And it's going to be used as a teaching tool for how optics and microscopes work in general for kids. And the best part about it is that it's built out of Legos, except for 3 adapters that you can get from us. And you can stick a phone on it to actually visualize it. And they can build it with Legos so that they learn themselves how the distances between the lens and the objective and your sample help focus the sample at your eye level. And they can build it themselves to change the distances to experiment with different objectives, different samples, and look at that.
You got 10 shots, right? Watch what happens. You got one, go and pick it up. Now we're going to demonstrate this. But it's the world's first shotgun. Aim at the bottom of the can. The bottom of the can, not the bottom row. All right, now wait. That's single shot. Now I want you to pull the trigger back. Don't let go of the trigger, right? Pump that as fast as you can and aim. Faster. All right, now wait. What's the third way? Wait, it gets better. Third way. Shotgun blast. Now we shoot all 10 at once. Just kill flies, cockroaches. All right.
Hey, I'm here with Scott. He's going to tell us about some of these different amazing pods that he's been creating.
This one here is self-contained. It has everything you need underneath the floorboard. Because it's using the concept that you're only using one room at one time. When you need something, you just flip up a panel in the floor and it's there. So on the right side, you got like a little kitchenette. In the middle, you flip that up and there's a shower pan, and you flip the shower pan up and there's a little toilet underneath that. This is the walking machine that I had built for the Burning Man, and what I used was the Taylor Jensen's linkage, like I was saying for the Strand Beast, is like a plastic walking beach. It's pretty much a vehicle. It's like an RV with legs. As a student, I couldn't say I was a really good student. I actually only have a high school education.
And you know, Scott, we're finding that when we talk to a lot of these makers, is they didn't fit in that traditional education mold, but they're creating and they're intelligent, just makers, and it's awesome.
Yeah, well, I think it's kind of like if you get into higher education, they kind of tell you to think in a box, but if you don't go there, you don't know there's a box.
Hey, I'm here with Steven, physics teacher from Northern California, and he's got some rather unusual musical instruments. Can you tell us about those, Steven?
Sure. This one right here I call the fiddle stick, and it's just a simple analog instrument. I wanted to make it sound really nasty, however, very electronic. So like a violin, it's got a little fretboard thing here that you can control the frequency of the note, and this kind of controls the tonality, so you can kind of go and kind of and some knobs for controlling some things on there about the tonality. And then this other one over here is, I call it the Wid stick, and this is actually a digital instrument. It has some digital control and synthesis going on with it. With this particular instrument, you select a bass note with your left hand on sort of a fretboard, and then you pull off various intervals like major fifth or minor fifth, or I mean a major third or minor third, perfect fifth, that sort of thing. So you can build chords with your right hand while you're controlling the bass note with your left hand.
So you're obviously into music as well.
Well, not really. I'm more of a tinkerer. I'm not. My wife is the musician of the family.
Yeah, but you know about major fifths and minor fifths and all that kind of stuff.
In theory, but it's a long way between theory and being able to play a decent song.
Do you play any instruments?
Not really. I kind of fool around on the guitar a little bit. So this is just more of a little exercise in making interesting sounds.